And Rain is looking for answers, to say the least. Rain has not been having the best TVZ. Now, Rain's still not a bad player, but you're like, man, Rain is awful. He's still qualified for MLG Spring Arena 2. And doing a fantastic job at that. His win rate against Zerg is not his highest compared to his other matchups at 51%. And he did lose the lead knock at the Spring Arena 2. That said, TLO's best matchup is ZVT at 55%. TLO, the red Zerg in the bottom center. Rain, the top, the blue Terran in the top.
Interesting opening we got right here. This will be a super proxy barracks, obviously. As this SCV is going out, it's not looking to actually block the hatchery. It wants the hatchery to keep going. And what he's going to do is just make a barracks right next to his opponent's, you know, I guess expansion, yeah.
Yeah,
there it is.
Just going to go for a good old proxy rack.
Like
now, this is on 11.
Yeah, this is super fast.
Very, very quick. He's not sending, he is sending a second SCV to go for another barracks, so double 2 racks.
Oh my gosh, and this drone.
He senses it. Oh, his TLO senses are tingling.
Oh my god. Oh, he sees it. He
just
sees the
in time. He saw the second
down.
barracks, and Rain's like, wow, why did I do that? And Rain realizes he's going to have to double team this drone. For now, we see that Rain is just still trying to resume everything else. He's sending yet another pair of SCVs, and TLO is also sending his own SCVs. Now, TLO wisely throws down the pool, and now we have ourselves a very delicate balance. This SCV is tucked behind that second barracks that is currently under construction, so the first barracks will finish. Now, this is a lot of economy loss for both players. You see 4 SCVs and 3 drones are out, but very costly for Rain. He's going to have to really make this rush worth it. Otherwise, he's going to risk falling very far behind.
But I like what we see. The spawning pool comes out before the hatchery, and that'll keep him pretty safe. Now, it's still very dangerous for TLO. I want to add that. It's important, I think, to actually have a drone inside your opponent's base, and that way you know if this is a continued all-in or if this is some sort of, you know, expansion play directly behind this.
TLO does have 2 drones, which could flank if for some reason he decided to commit to it. TLO also pulling back the weak drones, really trying to micro as best as he can. Wow, a great pick off there. And you can see the drones going for the flank, trying to see if he can get some damage on TLO, trying to pull as fast as he can. Zerglings are now out into the field. The bunker isn't done, so that should give a huge advantage to the Zerglings. And picking off another SCV, great targeting micro from TLO.
Yep, but good micro should keep him alive against this battle, but he's not actually focusing down the weakened Zerglings. But still, overall, really, really nicely done by Rain. Still, I don't think he'll be able to continue this pressure, as the Zergling count should arise pretty fast. Not only that, the Queen coming out here with 5 range, you will be able to defend against a lot of different Marine play. So I do foresee this not working out for Rain. You will have to start to decide to... I'm going around in circles. He needs to transition to something else.
And normal transition is to place a command center and try to macro accordingly. Double gas, get up your factory, starport, whatever you want to do, but you eventually expand off this unless you sent all your SCVs. Yeah,
that's the thing. You can expand or you can double barracks behind this and go 4 racks all in pressure. But with good overlord positioning, obviously that overlord buff is going to help against this style. I think TLO will be able to recognize exactly what he's up against. And once he does that, I mean, if it's all in pressure, he's just going to make a couple spine crawlers. He's good to go. If it's command center, then he'll obviously just start macroing up.
Yeah. And so from this point, you can see the Marines are moving out. TLO still not in the clear just yet. That spine crawler will prove to be a very strong anchor for TLO to fall back to. Regardless, you see that TLO still putting down his queens, taking this very seriously, which he should. Very good move. Rain also preparing an expansion behind this, but with the queens and the spine crawler, especially with the range increase, Marines have the same range as queens. So very, very good job by TLO, making sure not to get too complacent.
Yes. And now TLO recognizes that his opponent hasn't sent all of his SCVs. He's also looking to see if it's an expansion. He was looking over here to see if it's additional barracks, by the way. But this Overlord should get there in time, see the command center, and now he knows exactly what his opponent is doing.
Man.
Now look at this. Creep spread has already started for TLO. I love this type of creep spread. It is actually so good on Shadow Temple and maps like Cloud Kingdom. where you actually put the creep tumors on the top, and it'll still spread as long as you have like this initial spread right here. But it looks like, what is this, 4 racks transition?
It is. 4 racks, double gas. And that's almost exactly what we were talking about now. Also, Rain has a weird option to try to double expand. Some Terrans have been really trying to toy around with that idea of going for a really quick third and trying to macro with Zerg in mid-game. We saw that in actually the previous game. And it didn't really work out that best because Rain, his timings were kind of delayed as a result of kind of odd gas timings. But you could see that at TLO, it's still a little bit hard for him to play normal. It is Shattered Temple. Thirds are a little bit harder to take. Some Zergs just put a hatchery right next to the rocks and then kill it, and then have 4 hatcheries when it finally finishes. But TLO's opting for the defensive third base.
Yep, and he gets it in good time as well. I want to add that. Now, he already has his gases coming up, 2 gases total. I expect double evolution chambers. One thing to note is when you're Terran in this position, you are deathly afraid of Zergling Baneling all-ins right now. I mean, when you go 4 racks, a great way to play against this is to go Zergling Baneling expand. And basically, I mean, you have to traverse across the map if you're Terran. To do any sort of damage, you have to fight on creep. It's not favorable. And with delayed medevacs, you just don't have the capacity to do that continued aggression.
Rain is doing what we thought he would do. He's going for another command center, preparing to take a quick third off of it while staying on bio, which I like. The difference is between this game and last game was trying to tech while going for a third command center and just really didn't have enough units to put pressure on, and instead going for a bunch of bio upgrades. Now, last night at the GSL, I don't want to spoil too many things, but Marine King did try to go for this kind of opening, a little bit similar, not necessarily this far behind in the early game because TLO held that rush off beautifully. But nonetheless, Marine King was really sticking with Marine Marauder with just a couple of tanks and medevacs and support, but really capitalize on mobility. And we've been seeing some Koreans try to default to that because they've been trying all kinds of compositions because the standard Marine tank have been shutting down very easily.
Yes.
And so, what do you think about this kind of choice from Rain, especially that he's moving out, trying to get a stim timing in combat shoots?
I don't know if there is a timing in here. I think he's just attacking for the sake of attack. I think this build actually beats very few builds that TLO is doing. Metabolic Boost is about to finish here. He will have to back up. But still, I mean, TLO has ample time to actually react to this. I just don't know what this beats. I think it's just to get map control. So if it doesn't beat anything, what does it actually accomplish? Well, it gets map control. Obviously, anything that doesn't have creep on it, you can walk across and feel fairly safe. But what is he going to use that map presence for? Is it just to, you know, remove creep tumors from the board? Well, that's a pretty expensive way to remove creep tumors. So that's why it's a little bit interesting. I would say kind of inefficient that we see this build coming up from.
Well, the big thing is that creep isn't in the middle of the map, and Rain's just going to go ahead and ball up, let his Marauders absorb a lot of damage. Now, Marauders don't have concussive shells to slow down the Banelings, but he's targeting them down. Great targeting, Micro, and he's going to back off. This is fantastic from Rain. Can he snipe another Baneling? And it looks like they immediately detonate on one of the Marauders. This is a very good position, but another thing that was implied is that a huge stim was done on all the units, and so Rain's units are immediately weaker because of that.
Yes.
So he has to be a little bit more cautious as if he didn't get a combat shield upgrade.
I am really, really confused. I don't know why he's actually engaging out here. That is TLO. I don't know why he's engaging out here. This is when his opponent is obviously the strongest. But it looks like there is going to be some sort of sandwich over here. These Zerglings in the top left will have no way out, but maybe there's a reverse sandwich? I'm not sure right now.
There's a lot of layers, that's for sure. You can see TLO now backing off, seeing that many Marines. He has a lot of Banes as well, but with no speed or creep, TLO is not able to really engage. He's going to have to back off. Baneling speed, Centrifugal hooks, about 90% done. Needs just 20 seconds before it, but you can see Rain stimming some of his units this time. A fantastic choice from last time. Only stimming just a couple of them to make sure to take some of the damage, because otherwise at this point, if you stim again, one shot from the Baneling should be able to kill off everything. Yeah,
and this is really unnecessary. I don't think TLO should be attacking on, or excuse me, off creep. I think that's obviously to Rain's advantage. But here we go. The Banelings will waddle in here, and they're going to hit really nicely on a couple of Marines there. And TLO will clean up so nicely. The 1-1 is kicked in. for the Terran, so he has equalized the upgrades, but it's just not enough. That's what I'm talking about. These Marines, the Marauders, because they only have one stim, well, inevitably they only have one Baneling shot to die. So that's really difficult for them.
You only live once, Andre.
You only live once.
YOLO.
You so gangsta, son. You so gangsta.
And TLO's gonna destroy the rocks. Good thing rocks only live once. How annoying would it be if rocks respawned every 15 minutes or something? How troll would that be? Because that means the rocks would respawn right now in front of the Zerglings. But you can see TLO he knows that the third isn't really saturated, so there's a good timing when he can capitalize on it. He's gonna go straight into the supply depot at the natural, trying to see if he can bust his way through. A lot of beans were spent trying to break the initial defense. We can see Rain cutting back as much as he can. The Zerglings are now entering the natural as well. Marauders trying to go to work. Medevacs are out, meaning that the efficiency of the Marines get tenfold increase, but you can see there's still a lot of Banes with centrifugal hooks. They detonate not at the ideal location, but regardless, you see the Zerglings still working on the mineral line. And Rain stabilizes, but he did take ample losses. 16 workers have been killed. And you can see Rain still looking to saturate his bases with only 43 SCVs.
But TLO has a giant lead in the upgrade wars. You can see 2-2 almost finished. He should wait for that. Zerglings are going to go to the top left-hand corner. That's what he needs to do. He does not want this one expansion to start up, because if he does, then he's on kind of even bases. And here we go. Zerglings are going to intercept all these units. The Banelings! Oh my gosh, nice pickup by Rain.
Very close.
And now he's going to start ferrying around this fourth base and the third base. That's a really annoying position, because remember, he can choose to drop on this low ground over here and go to the high ground and just ferry back and forth, so it's really hard to position your units.
Yeah, TLO trying to make sure to predict where his opponent's going perfectly. Rain has to pick up these units before the Banelings. He does manage to pick off most of them, but only some of them managed to survive. You can see that the Zerglings are also trying to work on a very good switch by Rain. His third has been officially forced to lift, though. That's a great win for TLO as well. Now, TLO, if he can stabilize, will be on 5 bases compared to the 2 of Rain. He's also going for a run by at the natural, trying to see if he can pick off some more SCVs. Rain not paying attention, trying to see if he can pull his Marines back. Regardless, Rain is now taking heavy losses, and he can't really afford to trade. 2-2 is about to finish for him, but I don't think he can really continue to trade like this.
No, he can't. And Zergling Banelings are really, really cost efficient against this style. That's why a lot of people, I mean, that's why that 40 Baneling hit at like 12 minutes in has been a really constant style, because the Hellion Marauder Marine style has surfaced up and proven to be very strong. But when you're just Marine and Marauder, you don't even have Hellions, then obviously that's a big problem. And that's why we see TLO just manhandling his opponent.
Yikes, you can see the Banes cleaning everything up. Oh, the Banelings get another great shot. TLO cleaning up everything at the natural. Rain has a lot of orbital command energy that he has not utilized, because he has just been doing way too much. He's been trying to push while defending and expand. And you can see that Rain is falling apart to the might of TLO, sending non-stop Zerglings everywhere and defending and being aggressive with his patented Tier 1 units. You can see he's getting hive, so he can get his upgrades as well. And TLO does lose his 5th base, but still he's comfortably on 4 bases.
Yeah. And that 5th base can be remade very easily.
Yes.
And there it is.
GG.
He's not even going to try.
Rain knows he's too far behind. TLO takes game number 2, 2-0, which means he gets a very significant lead over Vibe, who lost 2-0. And all of a sudden, when a player was tied, now 4 points separate them. And such is life at the NASL.
Yeah, TLO obviously bringing out his A game this time around.
Oh, his A+ game. I gotta give him an A+ on how he executed on that.
And I do want to say that TLO did have a slight advantage with having the same matchup 3 weeks in a row. That's really nice to prepare for. Yeah. Obviously, your ZVT by the end of the week has to be really good, or excuse me, at the end of the 3 weeks has to be really good. But very well played. The style just counters, I think, Mass Marine Marauder very easily. Whoa. And nice defense in the beginning.
Guys, we were just told that TLO will be in the house for an interview after the series, so hang tight. We want to thank GameMinder, the people who make the smartphone application for NASL broadcast. Check them out at handelabra.com. But don't go too far, guys. We have an interview with Dario Wunsch right after this break, so hang tight. We'll be back in a sec.